Increased political tensions are starting to take their toll on major indices in the U.S. and in Europe. The Trump trade that drove indices higher at the end of 2016 and early 2017 was this notion that the election of President Trump would bring in a new era of prosperity, and it drove markets higher. And by the beginning of this year, we got into a real stage of complacency in the markets, and that's now started to really unravel with the rise of and return of political risk across a number of areas. In the U.S. domestically, they've got the issues with President Trump trying to get his agenda through Congress. Meanwhile, he's getting more foreign distractions in Syria and in North Korea, and we're seeing the markets start to roll over. Now we're also seeing it in Europe today with the already we had seen questions with the French presidential election, the first round of voting coming on Sunday. Four major competitors vying for two spots. We're still uncertain as to who's going to end up going through from that because there's a lot of undecideds that could fall out in any number of combinations. And then adding fuel all of that and really pouring gasoline on all of these flames is the announcement that the UK is calling an election to solidify its mandate, the government's mandate, heading into Brexit negotiations. So if we do see her come back with a strong mandate, could impact the EU's negotiating stance. So there's a lot going on politically right now, and we're starting to see that play out in the markets. In this video, I'm going to focus specifically on the U.S. and on European indices, and we're going to start with the Dow here. We'd seen this huge Trump rally, initial stage, a second stage at the end of the year as people rushed to jump on the bandwagon, a third stage upward through February, which is during investing season when people plow money into retirement accounts, and then subsequently on into the stock markets. But look at this. And the peak of this came on the 1st of March. And what was interesting here was that at the time we had the U.S. market get extremely overbought in the RSI, double top in place, but it was confirming. Since then, though, we've got the RSI trending lower, and we've got this steady falling channel in the market indicating steady distribution as people have come in trying to buy this rally. People are just feeding paper back out at them. Look at this. This first trend line here failed back in mid-March. Now we're seeing the the 50-day moving average fail, becoming resistance as well, and this index is continuing to drift its way downward here, currently trading in and around 2550. That support there around 2460. 2270 is the 23% Fibonacci retracement of the Trump trade. But it's certainly the declines we're seeing aren't contained to the United States. If we look here at the DAX, we're seeing it had been under steadily advancing also right off the U.S. election back in November and even previous to that. However, what we did see here was we'd seen it level off, punched its way above 12,000 up to 12,380. And generally, though, what we're starting to see is a bit of a negative divergence in the RSI, higher high here, lower high here. We've seen this roll over, and most important thing is we've seen the RSI break 50 and stay below it. That's a signal that momentum is starting to turn downward. And what are we seeing here? This 12,165 previous breakout point had become support that failed, now is resistance, and we're seeing the index now drifting back, testing the 12,000 round number and its 50-day average. If this fails, we could see it come back towards 11,815 and the 23% retracement level. France could be in a lot of focus this week, particularly with the elections coming up this weekend, and look at how it's starting to roll over. Nice steady upswing through February and March, topped out a few days ago just short of 5150. We've since seen the index fall back under 5100. It's now retesting the 5,000 even big round number here, plus trend support, and the 50-day moving average is a little lower near 4980. So if we start to see this area here of potential support fail, then the next support after that is around 49.45, the 23% Fibonacci retracement. Look at here, we can see that through this upswing here, the RSI had been steadily holding above 50, got overbought, negative divergence at the high, it's rolled over, it's broken this trend line, it's broken 50, indicating that momentum starting to turn downward for French stocks as well. However, this could be volatile depending on the election results and who actually gets through to the second round of presidential voting. That could be critical this weekend. Italy is also showing signs of rolling over here. It broke a trend line. It broke 20,000, failed to hold that. Rounded tops, broken back under that, broken an uptrend line, broken 50-day moving average, broken an old Fibonacci level as well, and here broken 50 on the RSI and swinging lower. This is showing a big rounded top here. Now theoretically, this could come down in here somewhere, rebound, form a head and shoulders top. It remains to be seen, but on the interim at least, we're into a down leg here. We've taken out 19,600 here. Next support, and actually we're just trading just under 19,500. Next support's this Fibonacci level here around 19,240, then the 19,000 round number. Finally, we'll take a look here at the IBEX, which also has been trending upwards. Spain at least has sorted out its previous elections from last year and does have a government in place, but still, so it isn't off as much as some of the other countries that are facing elections this year, but at the same time, it does look like at a minimum it's leveling off and could still be vulnerable if we get a deeper downswing in European indices. Right now, it's stabilizing between 10,195 and about 10,540, recently trading here just around 10,280. If this gets taken out, we could see a retest of trend support and the 10,000 round number. RSI drifting back towards 50 but hasn't broken it. So far suggests you're going from an uptrend to a sideways trend, but you were pretty overbought. There is the potential for a deeper correction. So with a lot of things happening politically around the world this week, we could see a lot of volatility, a lot of trading action and opportunities in world indices.